In this video, I'll be talking about what junior developers should know before starting a job. But if you're new to this channel, I'm DevPool. My whole purpose is to help beginners and juniors to succeed in the tech industry through my experience. If you're not subscribed yet, consider doing so, because I'll be talking about software development, how to be a competitive developer, as well as giving out career tips or advices. Tip number 1. Don't have an expectation of knowing everything when you're just starting out. So when you've been hired for the first time as a junior developer, your main objective should be only one thing, and that is to focus on your skills. And the reason why that is your main objective is because you're a junior developer. You still haven't written much of a code that is meant for production. You haven't really worked in a team environment. So the whole purpose of you being a junior really is for you to get more knowledge, expertise, and get familiar how the whole environment is working. And of course, while you're working there, you should be learning things every day, little by little, try to progress. Because what business does is they evaluate you on your performance. They'll see, okay, how well did you do in the first 3 months, in 6 months, how fast are you learning, how fast are you delivering specific code, as well as they're looking at how well can you play with others. Point number 2, and that is if you're stuck, ask for help immediately. And the reason why you want to ask for help immediately is, let me picture this for you for a second. You've been hired right now for a company and you've been given to do a specific task, and it's very simple. Like whenever a user clicks this button, it's supposed to like something. Just like you're about to like this video or you're about to subscribe to this video. And you're like, yeah, sure, no problem, I can do the ticket. And you've been working on this ticket for 2-3 days now. And the reason why that is the case is because there was this bug that you weren't able to solve. And you didn't really ask for help. And as far as the team goes, they think that, yeah, this guy right now, he's doing an incredible job. He's working on this ticket, on making subscription or like button to work. But what ended up happening after is you're gonna announce to everybody, yeah, I'm kind of stuck on this bug. And then one of your seniors will try to help you, and then they'll see how much code you wrote and for how long you've been stuck on this ticket or how long you've been stuck on this specific bug. And they'll start asking you questions. How come you didn't let us know beforehand? How come you didn't tell us yesterday or 2 days ago that you were stuck on this little thing? Because it's very simple to solve, and if you don't know it, you don't know it. You can just tell us that you don't know it. What it comes down to is, if you don't know something, you can just admit it, or you can just say that you don't know, because that will look really good on you. It will let the people know that you have a technical limit that you want to overcome, and you don't want to drag the team down, right? Now we're on to point number 3, and that is communication skills. The reason why that is important is you'll be communicating with people every day, just like writing code. So as a junior right now is a perfect time for you to practice communicating with people, to talk to people. So as you're gonna keep on develop to intermediate, senior level, you'll actually have to do a lot more talking, a lot more explaining on how do things work, not just from technical side, but as well as business side, because you never know who you'll be talking to in a room, right? So right now is a perfect opportunity for you to learn that skill, because a lot of people do fail on that part, or it's really difficult to progress as a developer. It doesn't matter how good you are at writing code, you can be a wizard as far as anybody cares, but if you can communicate your thoughts to people, then it's going to be very tough on you to progress anywhere. And now we're on to point number 4. Be confident, but don't let the pride take over you. So let's talk about confidence first. Don't try to discourage yourself simply because you can't figure out the small bug. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And the reason why I'm telling you that right now is because that's gonna happen a lot in your career. It doesn't matter if you're a junior, intermediate, or senior, bugs will always be there. And we'll have to figure out a way to solve them. And don't discourage yourself because you can't figure something out, or if you've been stuck on something, because whatever you're stuck on, that is something that you could be doing that for the first time. If let's say you're doing pagination for the first time and you're not sure how to handle specific tasks on the back end in order to accomplish this feature of the application, just ask a senior on advice for them to guide you to the right direction of how would you solve your issue. Now let me talk about pride, and I'll say pride is a lot more you should be focusing on than losing the confidence when you're writing code. And the reason why is because a lot of juniors who just finished college, they started to work, they start to show off their technical skills, or I should say they start to show off how good of the code they can write, while in reality that code is unreadable, failing. So what you want to do is take your pride and take it somewhere else. When you're working as a junior, try to listen to what your seniors are telling you. If they're educating you that there is a different way of writing code for production purpose, then try to listen to what they're saying, because if they've been in the field for over 10 years, I mean, clearly they have a lot more experience than you. And that's just the reality. You learn from the best. And now we're on to point number 5, and that is to confirm if you are able to do a specific ticket by yourself. So let me give an example of why should you ask your seniors if are you able to do a specific ticket or not. So imagine we have this ticket that has to do with a subscription, where a user clicks on a subscription button and you subscribe to the user, just like you're about to subscribe to this channel, or you're gonna click on the like button. The ticket itself sounds easy, right? So we start working on it, we start writing code, but the question is, where do you even start? I mean, it's a new feature, right? It's a new ticket in the system. So how do you start? Do you have an idea? I'm pretty sure your senior could have an idea of how you could actually start. The first they could see if our API doesn't support such a feature, first we'll have to take a look at what we have to build on the back end in order to do that. And what I mean by that is, how will our database look like? There's some questions that are coming up that are not even technical, or some of them are not technical, some of them are actually business type of questions, where it will involve seniors as well as business people to discuss it, because maybe you need to break that ticket even further. So as it turns out, you couldn't work on this ticket not because of your technical skill set, but because there were technical questions or business questions that had to be answered first before we could work on it. But it could still come down to technical skill set as well. Let's say you picked a ticket that is a little bit too complex on the API side, and you just have to consider a lot of different things, and you're gonna have to write a lot of code. And if, let's say, you're able to solve it, but as it turns out, the code turned out to be garbage. And what I mean by garbage is not like it didn't work. I mean, it might be working on your machine, but it's not production ready. You might need to refactor the code. You're gonna have to break it apart, make it a bit more abstract. So when you're choosing a ticket, just ask your seniors if you're able to do a specific ticket or not, and then they will let you know if that ticket is too big for you or you should be able to do it. Now we're into point number 6, and that is talking about the salary. I see you're laughing, but I'm serious. And the reason why I want to talk to you about the salary is that sometimes when you have an interview, when they'll be asking you a question, and what is your asking salary is over the phone, you're like $50,000. But where's that number came from? Do you just set it yourself? Like, if that is the case, and if they said, okay, yeah, 50,000 is a good number, but since there was no negotiation right there, I'm telling you right now, even if you were to say 60,000, they probably would have still said yes. And let me explain you why. Based on your location, try to take a look around. How much do junior developers get paid for a specific position that you're applying for? So if you're applying for web developer or full stack developer, and your current stack is PHP and JavaScript, take a look at how much do they get paid at different companies. Because if you find out that they get paid $55,000, $60,000 or $65,000 a year, bro, sis, you're gonna have to ask for that number, 65,000. And then negotiation comes in. If they say, no, 65 is a little bit too high for us, then yeah, sure, I can work with 50. Will 50 be a good number? And if they say yes, bingo, there we go. You just got yourself a salary of 60,000 a year instead of 50. You just made yourself $10,000 extra. So when you're applying for jobs, don't underplay yourself, don't ask for a low salary, ask for a salary that is based on your location. But I guess the main point takeaway from this video is you succeed as a team and you fail as a team. As a junior developer, your seniors don't really care about what your current skill is. All what they care about is how fast can you learn. Do you have that willpower to learn new things? And keep on exceeding as a developer. Try to learn little things every day for the next 3 months, 6 months, and I'm telling you, you'll become an intermediate, not in 3 years, but it could be in 2 years, even in 1 year. So, questions of the day. Have you started applying to jobs? And if yes, what jobs are you applying for? Post your answers in a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.